me kind of just like, I mean, I don't want to obligate you guys too much, but basically we're going to have the STC13 athletes at the Conquer Youth events. Definitely want to meet them and promote them and stuff like that, right? Perfect.
Welcome back to the Strength and Speed podcast. I do not have Brenna with me on the line today, but I do have another celebrity of the Conquer the Gauntlet world. I have David Mainprize, the co-owner of Conquer the Gauntlet. He recently announced that he's starting another series called Conquer Youth, an OCR series focused exclusively for kids ages 5 to 17. And on top of that, on top of the normal Conquer the Gauntlet series, plus Conquer Fitness, you may know him from his pink tank top wearing CTG shirt at all the races, or you may know him as the 2017 Journeyman World Champion. I'm sorry, 2016, which we like to refer to him as. So, David, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you having me.
No problem. And I am excited because I know for a fact that this is David's second podcast he's listened to, because this is the second time we've had him on. So, big podcast fan, David is.
I'm trying to go for 3.
We'll see if we can make that happen.
Okay, good.
So, what we want to do is kind of run down the Conquer the Gauntlet series of events, both, individual and team and youth and fitness, the gym, stuff like that. But the first thing we want to talk about is Conquer Youth, what I think is the first OCR series just for kids. I'm going to keep saying that until someone tells me about another series that started before you.
Right.
But tell us a little bit about Conquer Youth.
Yeah, so I think it is the first, or if it's not, who cares? But it's going to be very similar to what we have at the main event for the kids race, but it's going to be, like you said, exclusively for just the kids. So this is going to be, I know there's been some confusion about this. It's going to be an event on a different day than the main Conquer the Gauntlet race. It's going to be called Young Lions Obstacle Course, put on by Conquer Youth. And so what we're going to do is in our cities where we have events and in some other cities, we're going to promote and hold these events, basically standalone. So it's going to be a 1 to 1.5 mile course. We're not going to obviously have it be too long. We want to be inclusive of all the kids of different ages and skill levels. But it's going to be a 1 mile-ish course, maybe 1.5 miles. And a lot of that will depend on the venue, with 10 obstacles on it. It's not going to be a mud run type course. It's going to be more Ninja Warrior type style. But of course, the kids are going to get a little dirty with running around, and who knows, it might be raining, or whatever the weather might hold. But I think it's going to be a really really fun event. It's going to be really hopefully successful, and just another way for people to enter the CTG family and the obstacle course racing world.
Awesome. Now, I know you said there was going to be 10 obstacles, and I know I've seen some of the other kids' courses at some of the other series, and a lot of times they're pretty check-the-block type stuff, but
right.
It looks like you got some pretty good stuff based off what I was looking at your website.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, in the past, obviously, when we have our kids' course at the main events, it's kind of a side piece. So it's been some used old obstacles or stuff we've just put together, just based on budget and time that, like you said, the kids' events at these main obstacle courses are not top of the line, really. And that's just kind of how it is. And it's not really – it's neither here nor there. But with Conquer Youth, we're definitely going to put out there some really fun, interesting, cool stuff. Almost every kid that I talk to these days, and I'm talking to them more now that I just had a kid – they love. Of course. They love.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much.
I don't think we've publicly congratulated you on air, so congratulations.
I told Lori just to don't let her cry during the podcast.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Well, I mean, it's not that hard, right? So, anyways, at this it's going to be. So every kid loves Ninja Warrior. And most kids probably don't know what obstacle course racing is. Most parents don't either. But everyone knows what Ninja Warrior is, and so we're kind of keying in off of that kind of style of stuff, because every kid wants to swing around and have fun. I mean, that's what playgrounds are for, and even all the ninja gyms popping up. Kids love those. So that's what we're going to have, is just stuff that kids can come out on and play around and have fun. anything from, rigs and monkey bars to different fun things, and then your standard, your rope climb and some balance stuff. And obviously, at the end of the day, we're just trying to get the kids out and get them kind of learning and having fun while doing obstacle courses.
Awesome. Well, it sounds great.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's a pretty broad age range, so it's 5 to 17. So what's the rules on parents accompanying their children? Do they have to accompany them? Is it optional? What's the deal
So I'll
there?
just kind of go through all the different kind of questions that I've been getting regarding that. So the course is going to be, like I said, about a mile to a mile and a half. It's going to have 10 obstacles on it. So parents are certainly welcome to go through with their kids, especially the younger ones, and they can go out on the course, take pictures, assist if needed. We will, of course, have volunteers and staff at all the obstacles, like we always do. And this will be a lot easier to staff with it being smaller. You only have really a half mile down and back-ish or so. So we'll have volunteers there to help the kids. And then we're also going to have on our obstacles, it's kind of hard to make an obstacle that a 5-year-old can do and that a 17-year-old can also do, or 16 or whatever. So we're going to have basically 2 tiers on each obstacle. We'll have a couple lanes that are sized for, maybe from 5 to 8 years old or so, based on, just height and weight. And then we'll have taller stuff that you and I could probably even go across without much of an issue, just to have lanes that make sense for both kind of sets of kids that are going to be there, if that makes any sense. But yeah, parents are welcome to go through. Obviously, we don't want the parents, playing on the obstacles or being obnoxious, and that's going to be a volunteer staff kind of job to keep them from doing that. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but they can definitely go through the course, take pictures, have fun. I mean, it's only a mile course, so it shouldn't take even a 5-year-old that long to walk/jog through a mile. And so, they're welcome to go out there and spend an hour or two just taking pictures and having fun. I mean, that's what the event's about at the end of the day. I mean, I'm sure you're going to get into this, but we really want to introduce people to obstacle course racing that wouldn't otherwise be, maybe involved in it in any way.
Yeah, no.
Or interested in getting involved.
Obviously, I think it's a great idea, growing the sport from the earliest stages of life, and then on top of that, I'm sure you'll sucker some of the parents in. After they're seeing their kids climb around and having fun on the monkey bars, they'll be like, oh, there's an adult race here in like a month? Yeah, I'll come back.
Right, exactly. That's what we're hoping for. I mean, it's kind of funny because, as I've been doing this, me and Steve and Courtney have been doing this since 2012. So you get to the point where, you're getting your same, obviously it's a lot of the same people doing the same events. So you see the names, whether it's on social media or on the registration lists and the email questions and, everything. You just see the same people over and over and over, and you get to where you maybe don't even know what they look like, but you see the same couple thousand likes and comments and shares or whatever. Well, now that we've started this U thing, it's been kind of what I expected, but also just really interesting that, obviously OCR people are not the ones that are going to be maybe as involved in this. It's going to be a lot of people who have really no relation to OCR. And so on the social media and the email and registrations, it's all new people, which is really kind of cool because I'm hoping that we can get a lot of new people to be involved in the sport through this because, not to stereotype too badly, but a lot of the people who do OCR are between 25 and 40, and a lot of them are single or married, but they don't have kids. A lot of times when you get to where you're married and have a kid or 2 or 3, you're too busy or maybe too poor to do OCR at that point. You're running to soccer games and plays and school, and you just kind of enter a different stage of life to where you're not racing every weekend. And I think a lot of people are kind of in that stage of life, not that they were ever racing every weekend beforehand, but we're starting to get involved with those kind of people because they're looking for things for their kids to do, not so much for them to go out and do. And so we're going to get hopefully a big influx of people coming into the sport or just into the Conquer the Gauntlet family, especially in this area of the country that maybe honestly haven't even seen our ads. If we're targeting a ton of our ads to OCR people who've done other OCRs or are connected to them in some way, that limits who's going to see your ad, which is necessary for getting OCR registrations. But for this, we're going after what honestly is like a completely different demographic of people. So it's going to be cool to see all those people who have never maybe even hardly seen a Tough Mudder or Spartan ad even to come to a kids race and be like, wow, this is like Ninja Warrior, but like spread out and cool, and my kid gets to be outside. And then they just slowly learn more and more about it. because we've kind of got them hooked into the system at that point.
Right.
So that's the goal. And like you said, we're going to have the events, and then hopefully a couple of weeks or a month or two later, we'll be back with the main race. So we'll be able to remarket to those people who were just at something, a couple weeks before that they thought was pretty cool, and then they have another chance because we'll have the kids course there, as well as the main adult course. So even if all they do is come back to the kids course, they see the adult course and it's in their head. So that I mean, I don't know how valuable that will be, but I think it's at least a good opportunity.
Yeah, even if they don't come back and sign up, the fact that they're even just learning that there's this sport called OCR and there's a brand called Conquer the Gauntlet, and people of all age ranges from 17 up to grand masters are out there running through the course is
exactly.
It just helps spread the word. And, maybe they're not interested, but maybe their brother is, or they have a cousin or a family member or something like that. So you never know.
Exactly. And I mean, we all know how hard it is to get someone who's never done one to do one. But rarely is it that you get someone to do one or show up to one and they were like, well, that was dumb. I never want to be around that again. So if they can just come back to the kids course and see everything, I think they're going to be like, oh, this is actually really cool. I might actually do this.
Yeah. And I mean,
and that goes to, sorry to interrupt, that goes for just one other quick question point that I've been getting. So our Young Lions standalone courses are going to be a 3K approximately, so 1 to 1.5 miles with the 10 obstacles. And then we're going to, the kids course at the Conquer the Gauntlet events is going to be the same as it has been in years past. So it'll be exactly half of a Young Lions course. It'll be a half a mile or so with 5 to 6, 7 obstacles, or honestly whatever I have time to set up, because if I can get them all up, I might as well. But it'll be about half of what is at the normal Young Lions course. And at the Young Lions course, it's going to be, and at the Conquer the Gauntlet kids races, every kid was going to get a kid-sized shirt based on what they ordered, which we've never had. And then they're going to have a Conquer Youth Young Lions medal, which we've also never had. And then a little wristband that'll fit the kids. So it's just more targeted towards, being for them instead of just an afterthought.
Gotcha. So now I know some of the OCR athletes may still want to get involved somehow, even though they don't necessarily have kids.
Absolutely.
Like I know Jay Flores doesn't have any kids, but his job as global STEM ambassador, which I actually just recorded an episode with him yesterday, he's always out there helping and influencing kids. So let's say we have someone like that who, doesn't have any children of their own, but wants to get involved and maybe volunteer or something at an event. What kind of opportunities are there for?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, just like you're saying, I mean, we need volunteers and staff at the events. So if you don't have kids and you're into OCR, and especially if you love Conquer the Gauntlet, I would, of course, love to have you as a volunteer. You can just kind of sign up on the website just like you would for a Conquer the Gauntlet race. So what you get with that volunteering is, like we do with the main course, you can get a free registration for the Young Lions course. If you don't have a kid, you could give that away to someone as a gift, or I'm going to offer, I think it's a good idea to offer adult volunteers who don't want the registration a Young Lions shirt, because we'll have them in adult sizes too, and a medal, because the medals are going to be cool. And they'll also get, this typical stuff like a free lunch. But yeah, if you're in OCR and you like being around fun events, this will be one that would be fantastic to volunteer at. And I'm assuming the work will be significantly easier as a volunteer because, it's going to be smaller things and everything is going to be a little bit more close and hopefully more, at least as organized, or more so just because there's just less moving parts. But yeah, one of the things that's funny to me is, a lot of times you'll get people in OCR, and I've been on both sides of this coin, and I mean, basically complaining or just being like, why isn't this or why isn't that? Why isn't there, whatever, fill in the blank, or oh man, I really wish the Conquer the Gauntlet would come to this little city, or Spartan would come to Wichita or whatever. And I think that it's easy to try to get in that person's face or try to explain away why those things are happening. But for the people that are in OCR that have those questions, or that just want to see the sport get bigger or better, this is, in my opinion, a fantastic opportunity, because you can use this to get people to come to be involved in OCR. You can volunteer, but also you can tell your friends about it. If you love coming to races and you can't get your friends to come to races, maybe you can get your friends to bring their kids to a race. So that's another piece of that is, I think it's on us. If we want the sport to grow, we can't just sit around and say, I wish the sport would grow. We have to start doing things, maybe even outside of the box things, to get people that aren't involved to be involved. Because just asking them to and posting our selfies doesn't always work,
Yeah.
And so I think this is just another good means of getting in front of people and getting them to be involved without really having to get them to get in shape to run a 4-mile 25 obstacle course, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, absolutely. We had Adrian on the podcast a couple episodes ago, and one of the things he said was, when the sport does well, everyone who I work with does well simultaneously.
Exactly.
Right? Like
exactly.
Everything kind of bleeds off onto each other, and while I'm willing to drive like 8 hours to go to an event, some people, their limit is 2 hours. So
right.
So if you can influence those little smaller bubbles, then
right.
Yeah, you'll get.
You're also willing to run 8 hours at an event.
That's true.
And a lot of people aren't willing to run 8 minutes. So there's also that side of it.
That is also true. I forget sometimes how far down the slippery slope I've slid. That's a bit of alliteration. Yeah, I'm way out there.
You're just like, it's an endurance slope.
Yeah.
Never ending.
I forget sometimes that people talk about 8-hour events, and I'm like, yeah, 8 hour, and just it's important to me.
It's a warm up.
And but I can still run for the full 8 hours, and that's not normal apparently.
Right.
So
apparently it's not.
So
going back to what you were saying a second ago, another thing that is cool is that even though whoever you think of as like a famous OCR athlete, those people aren't probably famous in the mainstream, but these kids don't know that, and they also look up to whoever we put in front of them, and so to me that's important. This year we're gonna, and like I've talked about with you, we're gonna have people out at these events that the kids are going to be looking up to, and that's the thing about kids is they're going to look up to you whether you want them to or not. And so I'm working with you and the Conquer the Gauntlet Pro team and some other people that have been on Ninja Warrior show and just well-known athletes that are going to come out to the events. That way these kids aren't just running through a course and getting sent home. They're actually going to be meeting and interacting with Conquer the Gauntlet Pro Team athletes and athletes who can help them on obstacles or who can just help them get involved and excited about the sport. And the other thing is, let's say that you guys have a booth out there and you're standing there. You're not just going to be talking to kids. Kids don't just walk up without their parents. So it's going to be another chance to influence and the parents to go, wow, my kids really look up to these people. We need to be more involved with this, So that's another part of it is that we'd love to have anyone that's involved in OCR, whether they think they're famous or not, to come out to the events. So it's a great chance to come out and just be around something that's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you said the kids are going to look up to you no matter what, and it kind of reminds me of a funny story of when Lucas Fonensteel was on the team, and he shows up to all of his events with his mohawk. One of the CTG regulars' kid wanted to have a mohawk because he saw Lucas with it, and I don't think Lucas ever spent a lot of time interacting with them, just maybe some some casual conversation and passing glances.
Sure.
But yeah, Lucas is on Ninja Warrior and Broken Skull, and he's got a mohawk, and he's on the pro team, and he's out there running and motivating people, exactly. And he's on the mic, and he wasn't trying to inspire like a little kid, but this this kid wants his hair just like Lucas. So
that's right, exactly. And that's the thing is if we can get kids like that involved going to the obstacle course races when they're 8 years old or 12 or 15, there's no reason why they're not going to keep doing that and hopefully come up with a friend group of people that are doing that. And that's just going to lead into them being, hopefully lifelong Conquer the Gauntlet people.
Yeah.
And OCR in general.
Awesome. Well, now that we covered the Conquer UU stuff, let's go into the Conquer the Gauntlet main series. So, yeah, I know you guys dropped back from 9 events to 6 this year due to births of some children. So, kind of what can people look forward to in 2018 for Conquer the Gauntlet?
Sure. So things are growing and shifting on all different directions here. We got the kids event going, and then we have the Conquer the Gauntlet events. Sorry, some people just walked in. And so with the Conquer the Gauntlet event, we cut back a few cities. The reason for that, other than the kids, is also just, we want to kind of stay close to home and really build the events here. It's not that we didn't like going to other places. They were fantastic to us. It's a matter of where we want to put our resources. I know that Steve has been working a ton in this off season to get a lot of things up to a little bit higher standard on the Conquer the Gauntlet side, as far as just organization and different things like that, as well as he's got some. I've been sworn to secrecy, but he's got some ridiculous new obstacles that are going up. I think a big key point this year is just kind of taking the race back to its roots of just being hardcore and fun, and just have some big crazy stuff out there that maybe people haven't seen before. We also have, I believe, 3 team challenges going this year as well, so you guys should get your teams together now, get signed up for those. I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, is it Dallas, Tulsa, and is it OKC?
I know it's Tulsa and OKC. I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's not Dallas. It's one of the others.
I'm not sure if there's. I'm not tracking a third one, but.
Okay, well maybe it's just 2. But anyways, yeah, there's team events at a couple of them, and then obviously the main course. We just put out the new medals that we got designed. Of course, we're gonna have great shirts. So it's gonna be all the great, fantastic things that Conquer the Gauntlet has always brought you. Plus, I think some definitely new big obstacles. And, of course, yours truly at the finish line in the pink tank top.
Excellent. Now,
unless I get sponsored to wear something else.
Nice. I know we had Randy Lackey on the podcast before, so if you want to hear about the first Conquer the Gauntlet team event, you can head back and listen to that episode. I don't know what the number it is off the top of my head, but she gave a pretty good rundown of all the different obstacles they had, and it was pretty inventive. It wasn't just like, all right, here's a slightly larger wall than normal. It was all sorts of crazy stuff like, 3 of you lift up a barbell with X amount of weight on it while the other one person has to go across the slack line multiple times. Stuff like that. And so
there'll be some great team-oriented stuff in those races, obviously.
Cool. Sounds good. I'm excited. First race doesn't start until June. I believe it's June 2nd.
Yep,
Dallas. Yep. So I will not be there at that one, but I will be in everything from July onwards. So I'm missing both June events, but
cool. Should
be fun.
Should be. Hopefully we don't get as much rain as we got the last 2 years in Dallas.
Yes. Yeah.
Those were crazy. Yeah, it's a new venue in Dallas as well, so that's going to be exciting. Steve's got a whole new course planned out.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we talked about Conquer Youth, we talked about Conquer the Gauntlet main series. Let's talk about Conquer Fitness, the gym located in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Cool. Yeah, so the gym has been going really well. They just started on our bathrooms, which have been long awaited after getting rezoned and getting build permits, all those things taken care of. So we got bathrooms going in. The gym is really fun. Right now we have just a fantastic group of people going there in Tulsa. Tuesday is our OCR Ninja Warrior style class day, but we have awesome class workouts every day. And like you were there, so we just had our second Ninja OCR competition pro team day, and it went really well. We had, I think it was probably close to 80 people come out throughout the weekend, and a lot of people tearing their hands up, having a great time. And those are going to continue to happen throughout the year, and especially in the off season. So people need to definitely make plans to get down to Tulsa. We got new obstacles going up all the time in the gym. I think that hopefully next week or the week after we're going to be building a 3-tiered warp wall, which would be sweet. So everyone wants the warped wall. They don't care about much else, and then they get on it and they're like, "Oh, I can't do that." Yeah. So I guess you should go to something else now. Yeah, it's going great. Like I said, bathrooms will be installed soon, and competitions going on throughout the year. We're just about to start some kids classes at the gym as well. Kind of just playing into the whole CTG family thing. We're trying to offer something for everyone of all ages and in the places where we're at. And so we got, tomorrow's our open house. We just got up some new kids obstacles in the gym and out the outdoor space. And so any parents listening in Tulsa, definitely come by, check it out.
This won't be out for a while.
Well.
It'll be long gone by then.
Well, it's not how podcasts work. I'm new to this world.
They're not live.
Are we not live on like CNN or something?
And I also due to my schedule, I end up stockpiling them for a while, and then
yes.
I record 4 in a week, and then I release them over like a month and a half because of my schedule.
Gotcha.
So,
well, parents will have kids' classes going by that point, or maybe the gym will be closed by then. Who knows? No, yeah. If you're listening, come check it out. It's in Tulsa.
Yeah, and you can stop by just for a day pass, right? There's no
absolutely, yeah. So yeah, we have a lot of people that are somewhat regulars that just come on the weekends or during the week and just play around on the ninja stuff for an hour or so and then head out. So it's just $15 for just a little drop in. You or your kids can come by and do that anytime.
Yeah, and I know there's some races going on in the Tulsa area, including, again, this will come out after Terrain Race Tulsa goes on. But I know a bunch of us are planning on going to Conquer Fitness the day after the race and
cool, yeah, that'd
playing
be great.
around, having a good time. So if you're doing any races where you're driving through Tulsa or you're in the Tulsa area, definitely hit them up as a day after training sessions because
yeah, definitely.
Even between, so we did the first pro team takeover. What was it, December? And then and then we did another one like about 2.5 months later, 3 months later. Mm-hmm. And you guys had already added, definitely like a half a dozen or more obstacles.
Yeah, we added about 8 or 10 new things. And that's the cool thing about the gym is we're always able to just pretty quickly switch things up, throw up new things, and make completely new runs within the space. Yeah,
you guys just added, was it Ride the Lightning or I don't know what?
Yeah, Ride the Lightning and a couple of the ring toss and all that stuff is brand new.
Yeah, so Ride the Lightning's, I would describe it as kind of like a salmon ladder on wheels, I guess.
Something like that, yeah.
You slide down 5 or 6 feet, and then you hit essentially a blocking point, and you got to kip like you're on a salmon ladder and jump it up to the next thing. You slide a couple of feet, and you got to kip above another, block type thing.
Yeah. Basically, just think of Ride the Lightning, that phrase, and what would an obstacle of that be? Maybe that's what you come up with.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, so there are some videos of that on the CTG, I think, Pro Team Instagram and Facebook page if you want to head over and check those out.
Sweet.
So.
It's awesome.
All right, what else? Do we have anything else to put out?
I don't think I have anything else that would interest anyone. Just make sure people, even if all it is just a little share or something, take a second, just go over, follow us on, follow the Conquer Youth Young Lions pages. If you're in OCR and you want to keep doing races, this is a good opportunity to help your cause. Just push it out there. Maybe even tag some friends from your different non-OCR life groups and friend situations and get them involved.
Cool.
Yeah.
How are those UFOs treating you? Those sandals?
Oh, dude, I've actually been wearing them every day. I need to get on my hashtagging and tagging posts of them. Me with the baby and the sandals.
Yeah.
More recovery time.
Awesome. All right. I think that about. Oh, go for it.
No, I got nothing, man. Just I'm excited for this year. We got a lot of new, fun, interesting things happening.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. The June 2nd or the first race of Conquer the Gauntlet can't come soon enough.
Definitely.
We are all ready to go already, so I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to heading out to Tulsa a couple more times for races and hanging out at Conquer Fitness. And I'm very excited for this Conquer Youth Series, both not only for Conquer the Gauntlet as a brand, but for the sport of OCR as a whole. I think it does. There's just a lot of good second and third order effects, which I don't think are necessarily evident to people when they first look at it. But I think starting children. Not only getting outside and fighting obesity and all that other stuff, but getting them involved in the sport and getting them exposed is going to help have a lot of long-term benefits. So
definitely, I agree, and I think it's just going to be really cool. It's one of those things where no one's seen anything about or I guess basically no one's seen Conquer Youth yet as far as it hasn't happened. I think once we have a couple of events, people are going to start seeing the pictures and the media from it and being like, wow, this is a really cool thing, and then hopefully we'll get even more involvement. And just to throw out there, we are going to be putting out some pretty cool little teasers and pre-race type things. So we're going to do a little video with our obstacles. We're going to have Jared Renier from Kansas City, J-Ren Fitness, putting together some fun things for like the kids that are already signed up, kind of how to train, what to do to get ready, other than just jumping around on the sofa, making mom mad. And we'll just have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We're going to be working with Make-A-Wish, Make-A-Wish Foundation, hopefully get some kids to come out and fulfill their wish of playing around on some Ninja Warrior stuff. So there's just a lot of great things on the horizon for it. I'm pretty excited.
Awesome. And finally, I'm going to plug my own event, which is running at the same time as Conquer the Gauntlet Tulsa. So by now, the announcement should be out via Mud Run Guide and on my website. I'm going to be doing what I call Endure the Gauntlet. So I'm going to multi-lap Conquer the Gauntlet's event starting Friday and continue for 48 hours until Sunday. So lots of running in circles. Possibility of an epic failure. That's a strong possibility, right? 48 hours is a long time.
It is.
But the whole event is to raise money for Folds of Honor, which is a charity that gives scholarship money to kids whose parents were wounded or killed in action. So it's a great cause. Come out to Conquer the Gauntlet Tulsa. So essentially there's going to be 4 events running simultaneously that weekend. So you have my ridiculousness of running in circles for 48 hours, which you can sign up for, and you get a T-shirt and a belt buckle for it. You have the regular Conquer the Gauntlet race on Saturday. And then on top of that, you have the Conquer the Gauntlet Kids race on Saturday. And then Sunday is the Conquer the Gauntlet Team Tulsa event. So it is a packed weekend. If you have to fly to a Conquer the Gauntlet event and you can only fit one in your schedule, Tulsa might be the best opportunity for you. So
definitely. And so I just want to make sure I understand. If I sign up for this Endure thing, how long am I on the hook for to run with you?
You just have to do 1 lap.
Okay, because I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
I'm not doing more than 1 lap.
Yeah, you can do 1 lap. You can do multiple laps. The only thing is, if you sign up, that doesn't give you the ability to run the Conquer the Gauntlet main series, right? So you have to sign up for my Endure the Gauntlet, and if you want to run during normal Conquer the Gauntlet hours, you have to sign up for Conquer the Gauntlet during normal hours. So what is that, like 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on Saturday? But then you can come back out at night and watch me drone. It's going to be awesome.
Sounds exciting.
And there's also the ability, if you're not going to make it out to Conquer the Gauntlet Tulsa, but you want to donate to Kansas City, but you want to donate to Folds of Honor, you go to the registration website for my event, and there's a donation button. So you don't have to actually register. You just have to enter your name and email and submit a donation that way.
Very cool.
Finally, if you are listening to this and want to hear some old podcast episodes, I know iTunes can be difficult sometimes. They start deleting old episodes off of their feed, which is super annoying. But old episodes are always available directly off the website. You can play them directly off teamstrengthspeed.com. Or if you download one of the other podcast apps, such as Google Play or Podbean, a lot of times they have all the old episodes, not just the last, 30 that iTunes does. So, some good information for you there. Dave, thanks again for coming on the podcast.
Of course. Anytime, man. Thank you.
And I will see you in a couple days in Tulsa.
Fantastic.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks again, man. Bye.